Bits Bops is a Rhythm Heaven inspired indie game that I think in some areas actually surpasses its original inspiration. Over the course of its 21 plus minigames, you'll get some of the most creative, bombastic, and just fun rhythm based gameplay that I've ever seen in an indie game. But how do they compare to one another, you might ask? After all, there's not that many minigames in this game, with only 16 original games, and the last 5 being remixes. Given how I poured well over 6 hours into this game, and given how there's very little content about this game online, despite its good success, I decided to give my go at things, and rank every single minigame in Bits and Bops, from worst to best. Keep in mind, however, that this is all in my opinion, and I'll also be ranking the remixes separately from the actual minigames themselves. Those are the only 2 rules. Without wasting any more time, let's just jump into it. Alright, for number 16, what I consider the worst minigame in Bits and Bops is Fireworks Festival. Now do keep in mind, when I do say worst, the worst category of games is just meh to me, and not actually bad in terms of gameplay. They're all fine to amazing, it's just the ones at the bottom of the rung are just kind of whatever to me. That being said, my main problem with Fireworks Festival is that it's just not very exciting or creative. I mean, it just feels like a direct ripoff from Hanabi in Rhythm Heaven Tengoku. That fireworks game looks the exact same to this one in my opinion, and it also has the same exact color palette, same exact perspective of where the fireworks are shot, and the exact same gameplay timing. It just feels like a revamped version of that game, if you will. And though Bits and Bops does have an amazing, gorgeous art style to make up for it, this rhythm game is simply not showcasing the best of what it has to offer. I was shocked when I first played it because I was like, hey, isn't this just like this game from Rhythm Tengoku? I do like the shots where it pans down to the cityscape and the countryside as you see these little people watching the show, but other than that, the song's not that exciting, the gameplay is pretty mediocre, and it's overall just a okay experience. When I go back to replay through Bits and Bops' minigames, I think Fireworks Festival is my least played game. Still looks gorgeous though, but not really anything to write home about. Number 15, we have Sweet Tooth, and this one might be slightly controversial, I'm not sure, but to me, this game is really adorable. Like, I like the alligator eating the sweets, the character animation is pretty stellar, and I love this little Easter egg of these little candy corn birds swimming along the sweet river collecting these marshmallows, and if you pay attention, you realize that the mother bird accidentally leaves one of her children behind, and she rushes to get them, which is also in beat with the song. That is pretty creative, I'm not gonna lie. But in terms of the overall aesthetics, this game is pretty boring in my opinion. There's only 2 rhythmic patterns the player has to be aware of, and even though you can create a banger song with only 1 gameplay mechanic, as you'll see later in this list, Sweet Tooth doesn't nearly have the best music or gameplay mechanics to pull it off fully. After a while, it just kinda starts getting repetitive as you click to the beat of the song. A really chill and smooth song, mind you, but just a regular song nonetheless. And then you're just done with the minigame, no questions asked. The little flute solo in the song is quite nice, and once again, the artwork in this minigame is simply stunning. Bits and Bops' art style genuinely might surpass Rhythm Heaven in some aspects, just because of how vibrant and detailed it looks in some areas. And this game is definitely no exception. But unfortunately, there's just so many better minigames than Sweet Tooth, I had to put it lower on this list. Number 14 is Pantry Parade. Now, if the last minigame was going to give me some flack, this one most definitely will. How could I dare put these cute little ants low on this list? Listen, alright, I'm judging most of these minigames based off of 3 factors: gameplay, music, and artwork. And Pantry Parade might have some of the best artwork in the entire game, I'm not gonna lie. All of this food looks simply scrumptious. But in my opinion, the music just isn't quite up to par, as it feels kind of generic sounding. Kinda like elevator music, if you will. The gameplay is fine, I guess. It kinda just feels like this game's version of Flockstep, but worse, because I do not really like the cue in this one. It feels really awkward and disruptive to the song's beat, and it's also very hard to keep track of for remixes and stuff. Other than that, like I said before, there's not really any bad minigames, just not spectacular like the other ones. Pantry Parade's biggest asset is the fact that it does such a good job of storytelling, with the ants starting out from the table counter, and eventually ending at the main dining table, setting up the entire feast, which just looks amazing. If you pay attention, you can see in the cucumber salad there's an Easter egg of Bop as one of the cucumbers. There's other Easter eggs of him in the other minigames in this game, but I just wanted to point to that because it's pretty easy to miss, and it's fun to notice on repeat playthroughs of the game. But yeah, I don't have really much more to say about Pantry Parade. It's just kind of fine. Not bad, but not amazing. And for the last of the meh section of the video, we have Globetrotters. Now this one is the last minigame in the entire game, so you'd expect it to be just knockout hit, right? Well, it's alright. My main issue with Globetrotters is that it's just way too short, and it doesn't stay visually interesting enough for me. The greatest moment of spectacle is at the end of the game, where you have the Globetrotters, well, trotting onto different globes, switching the background out as they go back and forth between the beat. It feels very much like Lockstep in the way it does the offbeat, but in my opinion kind of misses on the bombast and spectacle that game had. The reason why Lockstep is so iconic is because of the way the game slowly builds the spectacle of the piece. The main song going in and out of the syncopated rhythm, the slow reveal and foreshadowing that you're not just 2 or 4 flip steppers, but an entire brigade of them that come together to create a giant image. There's another game in Bits and Bops that does this far better in my opinion, and Globetrotters is just not one of them. It is by far the most difficult minigame in this game, requiring you to switch rhythms rapidly, and took me the longest to learn. But once I did finally master it, it wasn't really all that special or fun to me. Just sort of a, okay, that's cool I guess, type of minigame. Alright, on to the next set of ranking categories. We have B tier, and for the first one, we have Meet and Tweet. Now, this game is actually interesting because it's one of the ones from the demo, which means I played it many times before the game actually came out. It was getting kind of stale, I'm not gonna lie. Now, that's not to mean it's bad by any means, it's just that I played it a whole bunch, but it still retains its quality even to the full release. I love the background imagery of the birds chanting in the background, as they each have 2 different stories, and daydream about 2 different things. You can really get the personality of these 2 adorable birds, with the yellow one being far more laid back and easygoing, and the blue one being far more ambitious and ready to start a life together. It's really adorable. The gameplay is also stellar, with it switching to the offbeat of the song in these sections right here. It adds a nice engaging factor to keep you on your toes. The song itself it's alright. It's kind of cutesy, but it doesn't stand out like the other ones. The main section that I remember is the aforementioned offbeats that are nicely timed to contrast with the main melody. And overall, it's just a nice, sweet, and easygoing game. What can I say? A little repetitive at parts, but it's not bad by any means. For number 11, we have Bebop and the Fly Girls, another demo game, and oh boy, this is where the game starts getting smooth. Once again, the artwork for this game in particular is simply gorgeous. I love the change in lighting halfway through the song, and the fact that they mixed up the robot and the girl's animations halfway through the song just really adds a lot of personality to these characters. The main gameplay itself is a tad annoying, with it having these triplet sound cues, and then having the player hit 4 times to the rhythm, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I think it adds a nice flair and tempo to the song that makes it distinct from Rhythm Heaven. There are a lot of songs in this game that have weird time signatures, and it really makes this game stand out in my opinion. The standout moment in this minigame, however, is the amazing part where the lights shut off and you have to time your spin move to the beat of the song without looking. It's a great way of building tension to the song, and pays off well when you get the lights back on to show its change in color. This game is just really good with being dramatic in its spectacle. You can just tell they put a lot of hard work and passion into this one. From the character animations to the stunning artwork, to the amazing and chill disco rhythm, this game just barely makes it out of the top 10 in my opinion, but it is by far still a blast to play through. And to start off the top 10, for the first game, we have Flipper Snapper. What an amazing pun of a name, and what an excellent first level to start off the player with. This game just takes all of the best aspects of a beginner level and turns it up to 11. From the gorgeous ocean artwork where you can see many Easter eggs and boats in the background floating along, to the amazing character animation and stunning music, every moment in this minigame just feels fun and filled with spectacle. From the cute seal stealing the cat's hot dog, to it switching to the bird taking pictures instead of the cat, and having the cat actually kiss the seal halfway through the song. It immediately showcased to me that this game would have just as much charm, if not more, than Rhythm Heaven. It perfectly mimics Rhythm Heaven's comedic and masterful charm. The song itself is also pretty memorable. I like the syncopated rhythm on the 3 snapshot triplet timing. It really keeps the gameplay fresh and not feel too repetitive. And the cute artifact when you mess up is also pretty funny in this game. Something I've neglected to mention so far is that it's pretty funny when you mess up in these games. And Flipper Snapper is the first one to show you that, yep, we're not going to forget that it's supposed to be comedic when you fail. Overall, just an amazing minigame and a perfect first level to start off the game with. For number 9, we have Pop-Up Kitchen, another banger. This one is by far the most unique feeling one in my opinion, with it having 3 distinct gameplay elements with the single hit, triple hit, and the rapid fire shots of the toothpicks. I love the Japanese inspired music here, as it plays nicely well with the rhythms, and the game even does a good job of mixing offbeat and on-beat rhythm patterns to keep you engaged. You have to pay attention in this game carefully, otherwise you will easily mess up. My favorite section of the song comes right here, where it's just quick beat after quick beat. Like, dang, that is so satisfying. And of course, the rapid fire beats feel super anime with you having the smear frames on the artwork, the food looking absolutely delectable. This game is just a treat to play through, nothing more to say there. It's one of the few minigames that I think matches or surpasses Rhythm Heaven in terms of quality. A trait we'll definitely see more of the further along we get on this list. Alrighty, for number 8 we have Octi Party. This one is one of those songs that I was like has the really unique time signature. Also, haha, number 8, 8 octopus limbs. I swear I did not plan this. But this one's really cutesy just because, again, the artwork looks stellar, but also the background details with the patrons who get tea. That one person who gets 15 sugar cubes in their tea. Jesus. And if you mess up and don't give him the right amount of sugar, he'll actually look sad in the background details. It's just, this game is so funny. On top of that, the artwork still looks amazing with the whole tea animation just looking simply gorgeous. The song itself is also pretty memorable with the, I think, 7-8 time signature, making it stand out from even the other songs in this game. Yeah, Octi Party is just a pretty solid minigame. It's very fun, engaging, doesn't overstay its welcome, and is pretty hilarious. Definitely deserving of a top 10 spot. Now, number 7, we have President Bird, and I know people will probably think I'm putting this way too low in this list, but hear me out. Yes, it is probably the funniest rhythm game in the entire game. The fact that when you start messing up, the bird starts chanting warmongering and slurs is just hilarious to imagine. The fact that the bird is a parrot, which is supposed to mimic people parroting political talking points, it's so creative and topical. I like the unique gameplay element of you having to hold down a button instead of just tap one. That's pretty unique to this game. And the storytelling this time around is pretty engaging with it cycling between news anchors, this cool shop owner. It's not only a way to make the player rely on their ears more than the visuals, but also is a great way of showcasing how your actions have an effect on the world. Like I said before, this is probably the funniest minigame out of all of them, and would most definitely make it to the top 5 if the ones above it weren't just so addicting and fun to play. Oh yeah, and the song itself is actually pretty good. I really like how it switches between different genres in each of the rhythms. Number 6, Hammer Time. Okay, now I know people probably think I have this way too high, considering it's also a demo game, but hear me out. I just love minigames where you have to do the Marco Polo thing of repeating what the previous rhythm played. The rapid tapping with the hammer beats is just satisfying to play. And as a fan of Osu, where you also have to do a similar thing, pressing a lot of beats in a tight coordinated manner, while definitely not nearly as intense as Osu, it's still reminiscent of that gameplay, and also mods of this game can definitely get it up to that point. I like the name having such a clever pun, and the fact that the cat tries to stop you during gameplay really makes it have that Rhythm Heaven-esque flair where you have to rely on your ears more than your eyes once again. It gets really creative with the beats sometimes as well, utilizing offbeats, triplets, syncopated notes, half timings, all of it trying to throw you off. It's super satisfying to keep up with. This minigame is a prime example of having a simple gameplay rhythm executed flawlessly in order to create engagement. For the next one up, we have Rock, Paper, Showdown, and oh boy, we're in the top 5 now. While I was afraid of the last one being a hot take, I'm simply not ashamed to put this one this high. This one has such a simple gameplay premise, yet executes on it flawlessly. This game encapsulates what makes these Rhythm Heaven inspired games so satisfying to play. Have a simple, pretty normal premise, and then go absolutely bombastic and crazy with the execution. What starts off as a simple game of rock, paper, scissors quickly expands in spectacle as you have the two characters using foam hands to play the game, a piece of paper that folds into a rock, them doing a fist bump in the middle of the game, the author's barely disguised foot fetish. It has it all. And then it does the lockstep thing perfectly, with it slowly expanding out to showcase a full array of hands playing rock, paper, scissors, all diverse and having a huge array of symbols and colors in order to come together to create a giant rock, paper, scissors hand. It's so cool. The song itself also has this escalation, starting off with just simple rhythm patterns, and then building up to this grand orchestra that has immense payoff at the end. It's simply mesmerizing to play through. Rock Paper Showdown definitely caught me off guard in my first playthrough, I have to say. I was not expecting it to be this fun, this engaging, and genuinely just so cinematic in my opinion. It easily surpasses some of the best rhythm-heavy games, I'm not gonna lie. For number 4, we have Volcano. This one used to be probably my favorite in the game, but it's died down a little bit. The thing that makes this game so engaging is that it probably has some of the best gameplay out of all of the games. All the player has to do is keep repeatedly tapping to the beat of the song in a nice seesaw-like rhythm. But what makes it so good is that the spectacle, much like Rock Paper Showdown, is escalated brilliantly throughout the course of the song. You have the low mellowed out rhythms in the beginning of the cave, but as the song starts to progress, you get these more intense and bombastic sounds. The cute moles have this adorable expression as the heat starts to turn up, with them looking way more frantic and worried over the course of the game. And the way the song slowly shifts in and out of that intense rhythm with the more mellowed out and calming rhythm is just simply gorgeous to listen to. I absolutely love the ending section of this song, where you have the dramatic piano chords going in tandem with the fire plume, creating such an intense audio and visual soundscape. Yeah, Volcano is just pretty underrated, I gotta say. I don't see nearly enough people talking about how great its composition is. And that goes for all the minigames for that matter. They have excellent composition in both artwork and music. For number 3 on this list, we have Snake Down. One of my most hated minigames when I first played it, but after I finally mastered its difficulty, it instantly shot up to being one of my favorites in the entire game. Oh my goodness, this minigame just snaps. First of all, you have the genius premise of the monkey and the snake helping this con artist steal his jewels, but then in the tutorial, you get the revelation that he's not going to pay y'all back, so you two end up planning a heist to steal from the con artist. What an absolutely genius and clever subversion of the tutorial, using it itself as the premise for its storytelling. But then you just have the song itself, dear lord. The gorgeous Arabian and Egyptian type beat with the more modern sounding instrumentation just absolutely sells the song and makes it iconic. There are so many memorable moments that just mesh the gameplay with the rhythm perfectly, like this double section here, and this absolutely diabolical section in the fog where the monkey does the same double time pattern, but this time with the jewel instead of the double coin. Just, oh my gosh, it's so clever. You also have this adorable moment where the monkey is just taking selfies as the snake does all the work. Like, oh my gosh, bro. This minigame is just filled with so much personality, it's absolutely insane. Then you have the ending section, where the crook is finally starting to wake up, and the monkey is continuously getting more and more worried about getting caught before it finally ends in a nice beat where the crook falls to his seemingly death, and the magic carpet floats away with the snake and the jewels in hand. Just everything about this game. The gorgeous artwork, the brilliant visual effects, the amazing storytelling, the awesome music, and the erratic gameplay. It's just, it's so fun. It's definitely one of the hardest minigames in the entire game, with it beating Globetrotters in my opinion. But it's just so well put together and brilliantly composed that it easily makes up for it. The most insane part is that there are 2 more minigames I haven't mentioned so far that beat it out somehow. Number 2, we have Flowworms. This one needs no introduction. Flowworms is still one of the most iconic songs in this game, and repeatedly gets multiple views on its main OST. I feel like the thing that makes this game so fun and addicting is just how funky and groovy it is. I mean, you take this pretty out there premise of a group of worms bouncing a ball to the rhythm of a song, and it somehow becomes the most stunning and stylish song out of the entire cast of games. The way the song builds up tension in its melody is just simply addicting to listen to, and I cannot stress enough how great the moment where you transition to the inner works of the cave, where it illuminates the worms and has the song suddenly go into a far more jazzy and funkadelic type of vibe. Just, oh my gosh, bro. The devs absolutely snapped with this one. This game utilizes its offbeats stunningly well, with it having the main melody of the song complemented so gorgeously. Like that one rhythmic pattern alone carries the entire game. And the way it utilizes the giant worm pattern where it goes into a slow bounce in order to slowly build up the tension is just perfect. I already mentioned it with the halfway section, but also in the ending section as well, where it has the simultaneous worms bouncing to the song as well and the player has to keep on their toes. There's just so many iconic moments in this song, it's hard to keep track of. What an absolutely groovy piece that did not have to go this hard whatsoever. It will definitely remain memorable and iconic as one of Bits and Bops' greatest songs. Alrighty then. Last but most certainly not least, we have the number one minigame in Bits and Bops, and that in my opinion is Steady Bears. There's not some super complex or meaningful reason why I put it as number one song. It's simply one of the cutest, most adorable things I've ever seen in my entire life. The reason why this is my favorite is pretty arbitrary. It simply grew on me as I played it more and more. It's not a complex song, it has a very simple rhythm, but the thing that makes this the best minigame in Bits and Bops in my opinion is just the fact that it's so comfy of a song. Like, this minigame stands out as being one of the most wholesome and heartfelt minigames in the entire game. You have this absolutely adorable couple of bears simply just ice skating around the frozen lake. The song itself is just nice and mellow and invites the player to just chill out with the beat. Even when it gets to the more intense part where you have all the bears ice skating around the ring, it still keeps its nice and mellowed out tone. I cannot express enough just how addicting it is to keep pressing the buttons to the beat of the rhythm in this nice encapsulating pattern. Even when you mess up and it's this adorable but hilarious animation, even failure for this game is just so adorable, with the pink bear's main partner just simply comforting him and saying, maybe we should go ice fishing instead. This game is just pure bliss from start to finish. There's something about it, a vibe, a tone, a type of feeling in Steady Bears that I just can't quite encapsulate with words alone. You just have to simply play it to understand why it's so mesmerizing of an experience. This minigame takes all of the best aspects from all Bits and Bops and merges it into one coherent and simply breathtaking experience. Some of the most beautiful artwork in the game, one of the most beautiful songs in the game, a tight and engrossing premise that's just simply too adorable to hate, a satisfying gameplay loop that is not too difficult but not too easy to get boring. Steady Bears is just simply the most emotional that this game gets in my opinion. It easily ranks as the number one game in all of Bits and Bops. On to the remixes themselves, and I'm not going to spend nearly as much time on them as I did the minigames. Just know this, the Ocean remix is easily the best remix from the game. That beautiful violin solo, just mwah, perfection. It's also by far the most orchestral sounding song in the game, with it combining the fireworks into this nice triplet beat, having a reoccurring rhythm that makes it almost like a leitmotif in a way. My only gripe with the remix is that the ending section has a sudden fast beat with the pop-up kitchen minigame. But other than that, yeah, it's easily the best remix. Second one would probably be the Fire remix. I know this one's kind of not liked that much because of how intense it is, but I think the intensity makes it stand out among the game. Just really fast paced and exhilarating to play through, especially with Globetrotters having this amazing section, and this section right here with Octi Party being weirdly profound sounding in my opinion. The way this remix also utilizes Snake Down is quite genius as well. Such an iconic part in the song. For the next ranked remix, I put the Funnel remix, which is just right in the middle in terms of quality. It's a Funnel remix alright. It mixes all the main melodies from all the minigames in this nice medley rhythm, and the transitions don't feel too jarring, except for Octi Party, which has this incredibly fast rhythm out of nowhere, which is quite annoying if you're trying to get it perfect. But other than that, it's just nice to listen to. For the Sky remix, it's also pretty fun. It switches through a lot of genres of music, from disco to trap to ethereal. It just sounds all over the place, but not in a bad way, just kind of a experimental kind of way. I do like how it sounds a little bit like A Hat in Time in some regions of the song, which just gives it a nice nostalgic tinge for me personally. And for the final ranked remix, we have the Safari remix. Not bad by any means, but definitely the least memorable in my opinion. It has some gorgeous artwork with the Safari theme, for Sweet Tooth especially. I like how they replaced the sweets with fruits, getting that nice healthiness in. But yeah, the song itself is just kind of whatever, not really that memorable. And that's all the games of Bits and Bops. Please, feel free to share your opinions down below on what you think is the best in the game. Did I hit hard with my opinions? Did I miss on some? I'm very curious on the discussion because this game is quite underrated in my opinion, despite it selling immensely well. It definitely matches what them having in terms of quality, which for the developers, I'm sure is something they are trying to achieve. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as always, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.